So hello class. We're working on an 3D axon sort of exploded floor plan view set of drawings. I've showed you how to sort of set up the views generally in Revit. This video is going to show you how to render them pretty simply. And so you can choose. I'm going to start at the first floor just because that sort of makes sense. Roof was set from the last video. You can really do it in whatever order you want to do it in. And what I'm going to do is if you haven't set up your view, your realistic, your sun setting, and your shadows and all of that stuff, as I said in the previous couple videos, you need to do that now. But once that's all set up, I'm going to hit the render button, which is that little button down here. It brings up this dialog box, which was pushed off to my other screen, so I'm going to put it in. And we need to make a few small setting changes here. For example, I'm not going to set it to draft. I'm going to set it to, I might put it to best. And I don't want the resolution to be screen. I might go to printer and say 300. Now this is going to be a pretty high quality and is going to take some time. You might play with, you're going to need some time to do this. Let me just say that. And I might cheat a little bit and lower it so it goes a little quicker for the video. But anyway, you're going to do that. We're going to do exterior sun only if that hasn't set. And if you've done this already, you should be sunlight should be set from the top right because I set that in a previous video. The last setting change we need to make is I don't want the background to be a few clouds. I want it to be transparent because we're going to just sort of edit this in Photoshop. So I'm going to go to transparent there. And when this is all set up, I'm going to hit the render button and it's going to start. I'll let it get started here. It's going to bring up this other sort of box to tell you how much it's being rendered. And I'll let that go. But ultimately, we don't have to wait for the full rendering, and I'll jump ahead in the video once this box comes up to show you. Here we go. It's coming up. So we can see we got the rendering progress box here, and in the background, it's starting to do its thing rendering. But anyway, again, I'm going to pause the video. I'll come back once this first floor plan is rendering and keep going through the steps. Alright, so I am back with the first floor finished rendering, and so once that is done, I want to go to export, and it's going to bring up just a regular save box, and so I'm going to go to my desktop. You can save it wherever you want, and I'm going to keep PNG to keep that transparency and call it first floor axon and hit save. Of course, the PNG I'll be able to open up in Photoshop, which I will get to the Photoshop work in a couple steps, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and go to my second axon floor, hit render, make sure all the settings are the same, render it, save it out, do the same with my roof, go to roof, start a render, hit render, and save those out. Of course, you don't need to see that. That's going to take some time. So I'm going to end this video here, get your 3 renderings done, and we'll pick up in the next video in Photoshop.